Hello and welcome, my friends. It's me, Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today and welcome you to Friday and your weekly reading. I know it's kind of crazy and hard to do on a Friday, plan for the week ahead. However, this gives you a couple of days to really gear up and embrace what is to come. It helps us get the mind frame going, that mindset, making sure we have the tools and the things that we need for the week ahead. This week, we're looking at July 18th to the 24th, which to me is crazy that we're so far into July already. This week, we have a lot of shifts coming in. So on Thursday, Leo is going to stand high and proud in the sky. We're going to be taking on that fire passion going on, which I think we can all agree is something that may help burn away some of that kind of residual chaos that's happening. And I'm not too sure if it's the energy that is creating kind of this chaotic weather patterns that we're seeing, or if it's the weather creating the energy patterns. Chicken or an egg. Either way, stuff we need to deal with. So we have that coming in on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have a full moon, the full stag moon. So it's going to be a really full week of a lot of great energy. I will be live 3 times this week, plus your meditation. So you guys are going to get a lot of me this week. So I'm going to do my full stag reading on Wednesday. I'm going to do the Leo on Thursday, and then of course your weekly reading on Friday. And I'm hoping for Tuesday to have my next meditation with Archangel Samiel, who is a fantastic archangel who I think is really going to connect well with this Leo energy. It's one that's been on deck for quite some time, and it was a lot of discussion as to when you guys were ready to work with this energy. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about Archangel Samiel and feel that he's a fallen angel. He isn't. He's a high vibrational being, and he's just sometimes not as warm and cuddly as the other energies. When I work with him, he's very much that tower energy. He comes in, boom, he's there, and he is ready to work. So it took some time. Actually, it was one of the first ones I was going to do. And I kept hearing, I don't think they're ready for it yet. Yeah, no, not yet. No. Now we are. So that should come up on Tuesday, which is going to be really exciting and really combined well with these energies. Because as of Wednesday-ish, you're going to be able to embrace that nurturing full moon. And it's that stag moon, which means we're getting lots of emergent stuff coming forward. And we need that space. So Archangel Samiel is really going to help us with that. So let's get into the reading. That's just stuff I know that's happening. For the decks I chose, I went with the Witch's Tarot, which doesn't really have anything to do with witches, but a lot to do with tarot. It's just a beautiful deck. So super beautiful. I paired it with the Enchanted Map Oracle. Again, a very, stunning deck they work well together because they're both very, not blunt, but very to the point. This sec here, it's very, very dry where I am. So yeah, it needs drinks. Dry and hot. Okay, no, wrong deck. We're going to get into this week. I'm going to start off with the Enchanted Map. What can my friends expect from the week of July 18th through the 24th? I don't know about you guys, but it's just, I don't know where July is going. It just seems like we got here and now we're into the middle of it. But many of us are feeling this in the middle of July. Even if we're in a heat wave, we feel disconnected. We feel done. I love the choice of this card. We've got Lion here. We need to embrace that inner power, that inner roar. This week, we're going to have that Leo energy help us to empower that inner roar, that inner fire. Help us to dethaw and really connect in with what's going on in our world and those around us. Because part of that freeze is a disconnect that we've been feeling over the last 2-ish years, give or take, year and a half. We've really felt that kind of isolation, that cold shoulder, because it's harder to connect. You don't see as many people in and about going through their daily whatevers. So we need to start to have that fulfillment, that connection. And this week is going to help us with that. It's also going to help us with this. Sad embrace. We can't get away from sad. Sad itself is not a bad thing. Does it bring us down? Yes. Will it lower your vibration? Yes. However, it's okay to be sad about something. When we start to see that energetical shift is when you are sitting in this sad, disconnected energy and not doing anything about it. Sure, it's normal. A lot of things are normal. You need to work through it, work past it, and most importantly, release it. If it's going to weigh you down, it's not going to help you. Because sad things happen all the time. We don't want to be emotional cyborgs and say, no, I'm never going to be sad again. It's getting stuck in that sadness, getting stuck in that depression. That's where you see your energy really start to go down. Sadness in itself may not bring down your energy. Sorry, like I said, it's very dry. Sadness in itself will not necessarily bring down that energy, especially if you're releasing something that's important or appropriate. So if something sad happens, say a passing of a loved one, something doesn't go just as to plan, sometimes that sad helps us to release that heartache or anger or frustration through the use of tears and that crying. And then the most important piece is that we pick ourselves up. Okay, this has happened. How am I going to go forward now? That's high vibrational. Low vibration is when we're like sitting in it. He is just following where that line has gone. They're not confronting it. They're not challenging it. They're just blah, done. That's when the depression stuff starts to kick in. And we start to, disconnect even more. This week is about releasing this because it's not working. We know it doesn't work. We know it doesn't work to sit in this. We know it doesn't work to sit in this. So what do we need to do? Shake it up. Like I said, I knew Archangel Samiel was really going to help us out this week. Another archangel that's coming forward that would really help out, especially with this sad, is Archangel Metatron. Back in 2020, I did a meditation with him. It was my first one with him where we released that sad, those sad feelings, that stuff that's holding you back. Those two meditations will really help out this week in releasing and taking back. Oh, hi. Sorry, I was busy. It's good to see Arby. All right, let's look at the beginning of the week. What does the beginning of the week bring, my friends? Now, I'm aiming for Tuesday to have the Archangel Samiel meditation out. The Archangel Metatron one is already out. Like I said, I did it back in 2020. It would be, I can't remember if it's descending or ascending. So it would be in the first couple that I did. So that would really help with some of those sads, especially if you feel like you're really stuck and you're really in a funk right now. We don't have to wait We don't have to wait to find out what this card says. You can embrace that energy. You can work with it. You can start to release what's causing that sad. The beginning of the week, the 10 of Wands, that burden, that overwhelm. Like I said, many of us are feeling this. It's been quite the year still. 2020 was a rocker and a shaker. It was very much a roller coaster. 2021, it's been slower, but we've had some pretty intense energies hit us. Like I said, the chicken or the egg thing. Is it the weather or is it the energy? Which is causing which? It's still weighing heavy on us, making us feel exhausted. Well, we have that overwhelmed, burnt out energy already. We're adding to it. So, we want to make sure that we're starting to work on self. Now, we don't want to give ourselves more burden by hyper-focusing in on it. A little bit of time here or there will support you in releasing some of this. Will support you in feeling stronger and more able to deal with what you're carrying. So, taking that time for you. Now, I know I've mentioned a number of meditations. So if you're new to my channel and don't know what I'm talking about, first of all, welcome to my channel. Second of all, I have 4 playlists of tools and supports. 3 of them are meditations, and the 4th one is a mindfulness meditation or mindfulness tools. All of these are a guided process, and most importantly, they are free for you guys to use and reuse as you need. Okay? There's no strings attached. It's just you being able to work on your process. Wherever you are in that process, and you may have to revisit some of them. I still revisit them, and I'm the one guiding myself. It's crazy. So taking that time for you, intentionally drawing out that lunar energy, that divine feminine, to help you really clear out that energy. Clear out that heaviness so you feel more engaged. You don't feel so disconnected and blah, because that's not fun. This is not where you're going to find that connection and that meaning. We really want to take that time and enjoy our experience. Not get caught up in this. This doesn't do anything for us. What about the middle of the week? Whoa! Card overboard. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? I have to say this 10 of Wands is a lot more calm and a lot more organized than the original. Pamela Coleman-Smith in her original one, she's got the wands in front and you can't see. This guy's got it all sorted out. He's like, yeah, I got this. I feel overwhelmed and burdened, but I've got that organizational, that sense of calm. On the external, internally, yeah, got this going on. All right. Something that we need, the Knight of Swords. Knights are that adolescent no fear energy. We need that no fear energy to take on this. Why? Because we have that fear, right? That heartache, that disconnect. The more we're connected in to that inner go, that adolescent no fear, right? We all been there, right? Where there's nothing that can hold you down or hold you back because you've got it all. Especially when we are calm and we're using that frontal cortex. This is the Knight of Swords. Sure, he's running headlong into the storm, but he's prepared. And that's what we have to remember. No matter what we're battling, we're prepared, especially if we're using our frontal cortex and we're connecting into that higher energy and our higher self, which we can do when we're calm and balanced. That's why we need meditation. It's a tool that can really help us. And the card that was so impatient, the Seven of Pentacles. We do have to put a little bit of work into it. It's not going to be like back-breaking work. This is more about that balance, more about connecting in with self. We need to have that time to really work on and strengthen us so we feel less sad and less disconnected. We want to take a little bit of time here and there because, again, we don't want to hyper-focus in on stuff, because when we do that, we have a tendency to tip the scale and cause ourselves more challenge. What we want to do is keep ourselves balanced, giving ourselves little bits of time. That's why most of my meditations are about 30 minutes, except for one playlist that is 5 to 10 minutes. It's a tool to work on in the go. 30 minutes, that's an easy doable thing, right? We all have an extra 30 minutes here or there. Giving ourselves that time to really start to tend that garden where it needs it most. And we naturally will do that because our physical and emotional selves respond to the spiritual self. So you've got that. We have the ability to deal with what is challenging us, especially if we take it slow and steady. All right, let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring, my friends? Now, in the middle of the week, guys, it's exactly when you're going to see Leo start to stand high in the sky. He's going to prance in, going to pounce. And that energy is really going to be felt. It's going to help rejuvenate us because it's got that fire, that passion that will help us connect into ourselves, connect into our everyday, what's around us. Oh, how beautiful. The Lovers, the 7th card in the Major Arcana. And of course, you're looking at that connection. And yes, the Lovers usually means that connection with other people. Here, it's that connection with self, with your existence in your life. It's talking about disconnecting from this and reconnecting into this, that passion, that love. We need that passion. We need that connection. And when we're disconnected from ourselves, when we're disconnected from our lives, that's when we find that those sads come flooding in. Taking that time for you and enjoying this experience. Yeah, we've got lots of work to do. We've got stuff to do. Things to experience. Things to, enjoy and learn. We signed up for specific things that we wanted to do. We need to start working on them. And don't worry, even if we don't know what that to-do list looks like, we are naturally starting to work on it. It's things that are meaningful for us or things that keep coming up for us. Different patterns, different pains, different situations that keep challenging us. Those are things that we want to work on. And we'll naturally get through it as we go forward. All right, I forgot this last week, but we won't this week. What challenge will my friends face for the week of April 18th through the 24th? The Hermit. He's the 9th card in the Major Arcana, and we're looking at that gatekeeper, that guide, that working within. That's the last thing we're going to want to do. We're going to have that resistance. Why? Because our ego is not going to like this. We're looking at releasing. We're looking at healing. You can't do that and still have your ego calm. It's going to start to resist it. That fear is going to come forward. We need to be able to conquer that fear. Take those deep breaths and go, okay, this might suck. I may not look forward to it, but it's going to feel better once I get it done. Think of it as a massage, right? So if you've got like a kink in your neck and you go for a massage, you're like, oh, it hurts, but yeah, get the knot out. Sure, it can be really discomforting or painful to experience as you're getting it done, but afterwards you feel pretty good. Same thing. Now, and I think that's why Archangel Samuel's like, it's this week. We need to do it this week. And I'm like, okay. I actually had another one that I got half scripted, and he came in and he's like, this week. I'm like, all right. So he can come in and help you, whether we're ready for it or not, to really shake that foundation. Like I said, he's like the tower. He comes in and rattles things about and dislodges what's not going to help, what's not serving you. So we don't need to spend a lot of time doing a lot of self-reflection. We can get it done in one go or a couple goes, depending on how you feel. Some people shut down if things are getting too heavy. Don't worry, it's not really terrible or scary. I worked with Archangel Samuel to shake that foundation, but to heal and to inspire at the end. So it does, it's not just like a crash and boom. I'm not, throwing the tower at you and going, oh, good luck. We have some healing and we have some inspiration and really invigoration there. So we don't have to go too deep into it. So we don't have to combat that ego too much. What we can do, though, is take a little bit of time for ourselves, center and ground ourselves through meditation that will naturally help to heal you and release some of this burden. The Seven of Wands talks about exactly what it looks like, not backing down. No matter what the challenge is, you're taking that fire, that passion, and you're just giving her. You're not wanting to hold back. Problem is, that's your challenge. That resistance, right? You're not going to feel up to really battling anything. We already feel like this, disconnected and blah. That's why we need to start early. And it's one of the reasons I do the weekly reading a couple of days before, so that you have that ability to start to work on some of this stuff. You can start to heal and work on you so you feel stronger and more able to do this. Now, we do have double sevens. We've got the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. When you see that multiple seven, the angels are telling you, don't give up. You're on the right track. Remember, sevens are a lucky number. So you're on the right track. It's just having that gumption and willpower to push yourself forward. All right, let's go on to see what will help you with this. What support will help my friends embrace this message for the week ahead? I know a lot of us don't feel like we can give very much more. I think that's why I wanted to make sure that you guys had the tools you needed for this week to really help you out. To say the least. Mountain. Most of us are really, really feeling this. We've got this big mountain in front of us, and we're just like, how do I do this? I feel just spent. We're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling disconnected. We don't always have to know the pathway forward. If we keep ourselves slowly moving at a good pace, one foot in front of the other, these baby steps make progress. It's part of our ego's repertoire to let you look at a problem and just fear it. You are looking at this problem and going, there's no way. There's no way. And then that becomes your mantra. You start to chant that in your head. And what do? You stop. Because it just feels so overwhelming. We don't need to necessarily take on that challenge. We don't have to take on that mountain. Let's take it one step at a time. Because when we start to do things that are a little bit easier, we're not taking on that challenge, but we're going to do something that is going to be more inspiring and more fulfilling. Like I said, giving yourself a little bit of time here and there, you open yourself up to some amazing supports and guidance. It's why I encourage people to meditate, because it's an easy way to disconnect from the mountain ahead and to take time in your passions and your creativity. Again, taking away from that hyper focus in on the problem in front of you. Doing that, you're doing the baby steps forward, because you're starting to work with the universe rather than against it. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but you start to have those amazing aha moments when you're meditating, when you're not focusing in on this, when you're creative. When you're creative, again, you're doing something that you like. And creativity does not mean arts and crafts, guys. It means how you express yourself, whatever that looks like. I have computer programmers who are clients, and they really enjoy clicking away on their keyboard. And then that's when they get their aha moments. Arby, I know that meditation isn't easy, and I never said it was. It's not. I'm not the type of person that would say, hey, why don't you go meditate in a room for 20 minutes by yourself and just go to the state of Om. That's why all my meditations are guided, so it can help, okay? Now, we do have the double sixes. The lovers are the sixth card in the major arcana, and then the mountain is the sixth card in the oracle deck. Now, not all oracle decks are numbered, but you can use the numbers of certain oracle decks like this to your advantage. So when you've got that multiple six, the angels are encouraging you to balance your thoughts and your time between the physical and spiritual world. Really reminding you that this is a balance, guys. We don't want to hyper-focus in on anything. That hyper-focus is an avoidance tactic of your ego. Oh my gosh. Balancing act. It feels like that, right? You feel like you're walking a tightrope. You're just kind of going back and forth. That balance, both in the physical, spiritual, and emotional states, will support you in tackling this mountain, making you feel stronger. Because that balanced state, it does come through meditation. Balanced states can also come from creative endeavors, because you're starting to focus in on that fun. You're balancing out the challenge and pain with fun. So again, balance. Okay. I have a number of balancing meditations in my Just You and Me playlist and my Archangel playlist. So you can go through and check in which one works for you. I have yet to do a short and sweet one on balancing, but it's on my to-do list. So don't be surprised in the future if you don't see it. I just don't know when, because they just kind of come to me. All right. What final insight, guidance, and support can we share with my friends for the week of July 18th to the 24th? Earlier today, I don't know why, I was so stuck in April. I kept saying April 18th. I had to apologize because I have no idea where that came from. The Four of Cups. I love how they put this as a child and a mermaid. I love that switch up, because we always think that people of a certain age get kind of stuck in that blah, right? But children can get just as stuck. They have to have that connection, that fun, that inspiration. So this week will definitely give you that holy grail. Should you slow down and shift out of this funk? the Five of Pentacles, very much connected in to that disconnection and that isolation. This card is such a fantastic depiction of kind of that barren wasteland, that energy and feeling that this card brings. We know that there has been prosperity in the past, but right now we don't feel it. Focusing in on that prosperity, focusing in and shifting that energy will help us to let that prosperity grow. Again, shaking things up. The Ten of Swords. Yeah. The Ten of Swords is a hard card. Actually, a lot of the swords are a hard card, right? Because we're looking at situations and events that have brought you pain. Yet, the trick is with the sword, there is no pain. It's information. The sword is cold, hard truth. We struggle with the sword so much because we're looking at the emotion that we've attached to that situation or event. We have situations and events that feed us, that really bring us joy and happiness. They're not part of this. So the ones that bring us fear, heartache, or shame. The one trick about the Ten of Swords, it's kind of hard to see in this card, but the sun is rising here. No matter what's happened in the past, and as you can see, there's zero blood here. This is not like a physical impalement. This is more emotional and psychic. We need to stand up and greet our day. Really reminding us, we can't get stuck in this. If we get stuck in this, that's when the universe is going to come in and we're going to see that Tower card. We're going to see that zap in the butt because we put our head in the sand. And finally, the Nine of Swords. Again, not a cheery card. However, reminding us that anxiety and depression, those emotional disorders are real and they can be debilitating. So, cards in this week are reminding you, we don't need to do this alone. Sometimes we have to ask for the help that we need, whether it be from our friends and family, from our high vibrational support team, or our medical teams. We don't need to try and be everything for everybody all the time. We need help as well. So if anxiety and depression have really taken hold and you don't feel like you can shake this, that's when you start to reach out. Reach out to your support teams, reach out to your doctor, reach out to people that can help you, because this is easy, slippery slope. And that's not going to serve you. It's going to cause you a lot more heartache and pain. Taking that deep breath, holding your head up high, because you're taking control. You're asking for the help that you need, that you want, so that you can move forward and find that joy, so that you can find that abundance, that happiness that has been there and that is still there. It's just harder to see. So reaching out and asking for the help, it really makes a difference. Now, we do have an interesting phenomenon. Sure, you get the multiple cards. Angels like to tell us different things in different ways. Okay, so you're going to find things like feathers and rainbows and different things. We have 4, 5, 9, 10. Slow, steady steps. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. So if anybody in chat has any other questions, I'll be happy to help them. Arby, you asked me about astral projection, and yes, you can do it. Anybody can. You just need to be careful, okay? We need to make sure that you've got that connection and groundedness to be able to do so. Yes, you can. So for others who are questioning, Arby's asked me about astral projection. Some healers, including myself, use astral projection as a tool to support others to heal or to move things. Like I've done property clearings or personal clearings. Instead of me just sending the energy, I astral project, and I am there interacting with everything around you. That's a very double-barreled question, Arby, and I couldn't answer that. It's very individual. Okay? So, like I said earlier, I will be live again Wednesday for the, the full moon, Thursday for the Leo, Friday for the week ahead. And I should be posting that reading, or that, what do you call it? Sorry, that meditation. My brain just decided to stall. That meditation on Tuesday. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. And until tomorrow, my friends.